There you and welcome to the Empire State Army, who while marching into Vampire Count's territory, suddenly found themselves face to face with 2.5 million zombies. The Empire troops, who were vastly outnumbered, quickly formed a defensive position, but with no optimal terrain for miles around, they were forced into a box formation. Will the Empire be able to withstand the withering waves of the undead? Well, of course, there's only one way to find out. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This one should be really interesting. So you can see this Empire formation here. We've actually got this awesome box formation. We've got a box in the center. We've got these 4 box formations around the inner corners, as well as a load of formations around the outside. Now, these are actually all made up of these guys here, which are muskets, and these muskets have the ability to insta-kill the zombies in a single shot. However, they have a very long reload time. So while they are powerful, they're also extremely slow. But the Empire also have a couple of other tricks up their sleeve. You see, in between these two lines here, we've actually got a couple of archers. And these archers here have very special kinds of ammunition. They're going to be firing exploding arrows into the approaching zombie horde. Now, these arrows only deal a very small little bit of splash damage, but hopefully it should be enough to help equalize the fight. And there you go. You can see that exploding arrows now tearing overhead as the front line of muskets tries to hold back that gigantic zombie swarm as it comes plowing in. Now, we have got a little bit of a gap here for a lot of the Empire troops to start funneling out towards the front line to try and help out the muskets as best as they can. You can see that the zombie horde here is going to be absolutely relentless in its attack on that front line as Empire troops with swords and shields here rush to the front to try and protect the most valuable muskets here. Now, these muskets will absolutely tear the zombie horde apart. Look at that volley fire there. Oh, it's absolutely glorious. I love watching it. But look at this as the zombies try to push around the flank. As more and more guns, as they come into range of more and more guns, you can just see this insane defilade of corpses starting to appear almost instantaneously. And like I said, so look, you can see not all of the guns are actually shooting at the moment. So as the zombies get closer and closer, more and more guns will come to bear on them. The box formations on the corners also providing some really good covering fire here. But despite having lots of melee troops on the front line, it does look like the zombies are still able to push through here. Even with the insane losses that they're taking, we're already quickly approaching 200,000 kills here on the front line. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Yes, the muskets on the front line are a little bit sacrificial here. They are in not like the most optimal position, I will say. You know, I should have had more melee troops covering it, but it also makes it a little bit more interesting, as you'll see as the battle progresses here. Now, look at these archers in the center. The weight of firepower that they're adding should hopefully mean that this center line should hold quite nicely, at least for a little bit. Because I think they're just a little bit out of range at the moment. But as the zombies get closer, them shots will become way more accurate and concentrated. I've got to say, we've got a healthy splattering of melee troops now, all pushing up to that front. Let's go have a look further down the battlefield here. So you can see where the archer fire isn't. They're having a little bit more of a struggle. However, just behind all these ranged gunners now, we do have vast swathes of melee troops ready and waiting for their turn to get to the front. So at some point here, we are going to start getting a countercharge out to the Empire lines. Oh, look at this as well. As the zombies are trying to push around, we have got a couple of brave souls here pushing out in towards their ranks, sacrificing themselves to give the gunners here that valuable reload time that they need. The zombies care not, though, for the sacrifice of humankind here. They only care about one thing, and that's attaining brains. And I've got to say, I really like these muskets. They're a lot of fun to use. Just the volley fire and the insta-kill, with the combined fact that they're quite slow to shoot. It just really adds this sort of building pressure here. There's like a tension in the map that you wouldn't normally get. It's like you're just waiting and praying for them volleys to go off so that vast swathes of the zombies just get cut down in this horrific fire. And I've got to say though, this front line here, really, really good at the moment. That artillery slash archer fire, I'm going to go ahead and call it what it is. It's essentially artillery fire here, firing explosive rounds into the enemy. I imagine they're just sticks of dynamite attached to an arrow, because that wouldn't affect the aerodynamics of the arrow at all now, would it? No, of course not. Look at this though, I've got to say, as the line of gunners has thinned out, it's allowed for the melee troops to start pushing forward. So we are actually getting some semblance of a defense here now going. The gunners on the front line are surviving, at least for now. Now I've got to watch this. I want to see, as the zombies push around here, just all the firepower that's laid upon them. Oh my god, look at that. The floor literally just starts to get instantly peppered with zombie corpses. Oh, that looks so cool. Look at all the zombies pushing in over here as well. Just a point-blank musket fire now, practically. And then every now and then you just see these swordsmen running out at the last second to try and hold the line. There we go. I think pretty much all the firepower is now deployed. Even some of the firepower from the back line is starting to help out now, which is really good. Because obviously they're not currently in use at the moment. The zombies haven't managed to envelop this defense, which is probably a good sign. Let's have a look at that. Oh, so we're close to 750,000 kills now. That's pretty good. 1.7 million zombies remaining on the field. The front line looking like it's holding it pretty nicely for now. But let's go have a look at this side. I haven't really paid too much attention to this side yet. Though it looks like we've been working on an absolutely superb defilade of corpses here. My only worry is that with all these corpses that we're building up around us, yeah, look, we can already see blood lakes are starting to form. But hopefully, we've got a little bit of a drainage area over here by the looks of it. Look, yeah, look. There's this little dip in the terrain over here, so hopefully we should be all right. Hopefully we won't end up drowning ourselves. Look at this push, though, by the zombies on this angle. That's really effective. They're just absolutely massacring the musket troops there. Now, don't get me wrong, these muskets are putting up a damn good defense. Absolutely blasting the zombies, making them pay for every inch of ground that they're taking here. But my god, look at just how quickly the zombies are filling in them reinforcements, man. That's a little bit terrifying. You can see Empire troops now still coming from the center lines and stuff like that to try and reinforce these lines. How are they doing on this side? Yeah, exactly the same situation here. Though we've got this lovely little gap, actually, just between the lines, which will allow the troops to filter through. That's probably going to be critical. Do we have one of them on this side, actually? No, we don't. So, yeah, the troops are having to filter through the muskets themselves over here. Again, look at this. We are holding them. Somehow we're managing to hold these lines over here. I just love all these corpse piles that we made, and there's still a really healthy amount of troops, actually, for the Empire over here in terms of melee troops. Our box formations on the inner corners as well, also absolutely fine at the moment, providing decent fire support to both corners. You can see that we've actually got an extra wall of gunners in the center here, which are also probably helping out immensely. Obviously, the Empire here wanting to not let the zombie horde just penetrate straight through the centers, knowing that they'd have to expel extra resources to take the flanks. And it is working wonders. Look at that. Big, thick, healthy melee lines for the Empire is exactly what we need, keeping them gunners alive for as long as possible. 1.1 million kills now under the belt. We've actually still got a load of Empire troops filtering through the archers at the moment as well, and the muskets just in front of them. So that's good news for the Empire. That means they can sustain this, at least for a little bit. We're looking a little bit shaky in some areas, I gotta say. Especially on the far corners like this area. You know, the amount of troops over here is just nothing comparative to the rest of the line at the moment. But it's holding, and that's what's the important thing. The risk is, though, is that the Empire melee troops start pushing out a little bit too far. We don't want them getting out of range of the musket fire here. Now, what's going on over this side of the line? Okay, it looks like the zombies actually managed to break through over here. Look at this. I mean, they paid for it dearly. And now reinforcements are flooding in, trying to come around this part. Luckily, an Empire line has formed here. But yeah, look at this. I'm starting to get really worried here. The zombies are chewing through the Empire's reinforcements. The zombies may gain control of this corner. How are they doing on the other side? Okay, this side looking way healthier over here. Oh my god. Yeah, look at this. The Empire are actually winning out the flank on this side. Jesus, look at all the corpse piles that we've made. It's an absolute massacre on the battlefield. But yeah, this side's looking a little bit healthier, at least for now. Again, I'm not worried too much about the front lines at the moment. Again, way more melee troops over here. We're starting to get these lovely gulags forming underneath the zombie horde as well. And still, that artillery is pounding, though it looks like it's having a little bit of trouble firing over the corpse pile here. So maybe this is where the detrimental effect starts happening here for the Empire. Pushing over the corpse pile. The troops aren't able to shoot through the corpses, guys. You're going to be on your own if you keep pushing over that side. Well, let's go back over here quickly. Because it looks like maybe the Empire are getting this a little bit under control. We've certainly got the firepower focused on this corner. And the zombies are taking heavy losses, actually. Look at these guys over here. Just getting absolutely cut down by dedicated musket fire. Committed to holding the flank. And I don't think the zombies are that committed to taking it. I mean, there's reinforcements coming in, but there's not that many. And in fact, the zombie horde has really started to thin out on the far side over here. I'm actually reckoning the Empire might be able to start a countercharge from here. They've certainly got all the troops building up now. Look at all these. So the zombies really need a critical breakthrough of this line. And we might be getting to that point pretty soon. In fact, look here, I'm getting, that is such a thin amount of troops on that front line now. We've actually still got some of the front outer box formation alive here. That's what these guys are, but you'll notice they can't shoot because they can't see the enemy. Oh, Jesus, look at this thing. Let's go take a dip. How deep is this thing? Come on. Can little Timmy? Is he going to be able to? Come on, there's got it. It's almost there. It's almost there. It's just a little bit too shallow for little Timmy, unfortunately. Oh my god. It happened, ladies and gentlemen. The corner. It gave way. The zombies have found a purchase here. Oh, and on the other side as well. Look at this. They finally started getting the breakthrough that they need. Empire troops here rapidly coming up to the deployment zone to try and countercharge this. But the Nommers are going straight for the gunners, and that's probably a really wise idea. The archers now are trying to add some fire support. But this could be disastrous for the entire line. Oh my god, look at that. Just pincer maneuver now from the zombies. Just comes pouring in here. Taking the Empire completely by surprise, and me to be honest. I was not expecting them to just smash through like that. It feels like now though, there's almost no resistance suddenly. The Empire lines are just crumbling. Wave after wave of zombies just pouring on through. The Empire trying the best to hold on here. We've got more troops pouring up. That's what we need. We need these guys who are stuck behind these gunners here to start moving up to this line now. And they are, slowly but surely, they're doing it. Or is it going to be too little too late? Let's have a look on this side. See, on this side, they're still embroiled in a heavy battle. So there is no spare troops whatsoever to come and aid the reinforcements on this side. Which is really worrying for the Empire. This box formation will be able to hold its own just for a little bit. But without the support of the melee troops, It will eventually falter. We've only got 600,000 zombies left on the field. It's a tall order, 80,000 defenders. I could not call this one either way. Especially with how quickly now the zombies are getting through some of these lines. Oh my god. They are just storming through them. What we may end up with then is a desperate last stand defense. Not with the central box formation, but with the two rear lines over here, with the two box formations and a line of troops behind them. Hopefully the Empire countercharge over here can actually gain some momentum and start outflanking the zombies more. But at the moment, I don't know if that's going to help them because the zombies are pouring through the central lines. There we go. We can see the box formation now getting wiped out, as well as the archers here. The archers, the artillery. It is about to meet its end. And that is a lot of firepower that has just been wiped out off the field here. Even with the gunners in the center, laying that firepower into them, it's not going to be enough. And that is a major collapse of the front line there. A major collapse. Like I said, the good news is we still have this formation at the rear, and we still have our central box formation, but the central box formation is just, it's a supporting role. It's not designed for a last stand. There's what, like, maybe 4,000 to 10,000 troops here total, if that. And yeah, look, you can see the zombies just chewing their way through there. Again, though, we've got these few melee defenders here who just keep buying us vital seconds in the defense. But ultimately, yeah, the zombies are getting through that. And look at this, though. We are finally starting to get a little bit of a breakthrough on this side of the field. It might be too little too late, though. The Empire might just end up getting surrounded over here. I think that's what we're going to end up with. We're going to end up with these two weird pockets of resistance on the side as the zombies freely run down the center. Now, hopefully, our two box formations over here can provide enough covering fire to help these guys out. I mean, they're doing a really good job over this side. Look at this. The zombies getting lit up in the flank as they try to press the advantage that they've got here. 380,000 zombies remain against the 41,000 defenders. Now, I do believe in the Empire here. I think they have a good chance of being able to do this. These box formations are pretty solid. And we still have a bunch of Empire troops over here. I mean, they've been thinned out massively since we last looked. Oh my god. Let's have a look at this one. Come on. We're after a little Timmy Lake here. Just want to do us really nicely. We're not quite there, though, sadly. Hopefully we'll have one somewhere by the end of this. Oh, we might have one here. Let's have a look at this one. This may just be deep enough, ladies and gents. No, it's not. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Empire here, though, putting up a really good stalwart defense, holding back the entire zombie horde practically by themselves at the moment. We have got the enemy at below 300,000 now. And that is good. Oh, look at this, though. The box formation is now under heavy assault over here. Again, a few melee troops making their way forward, trying to buy them valuable seconds. But I think the fate of the Empire might have been sealed here. They marched far too far into lands they were unwelcome with. And the zombie horde is going to deal them a fatal blow here by the looks of it. Then we might not be over yet. They might pull out some miracle here. Because I've got to say, actually, the zombies are taking quite a while to chew their way through this box formation on this side. They've only just started attacking the box formation on this side of the field. So things are actually still, you know, things are still in motion for the Empire. We've got these poor old souls now who are completely doomed. But what they are doing is holding back hundreds and hundreds of zombies here. Again, vital seconds that allows fire support from the other lines. Like I said, we still do have a good, healthy amount of troops over here. Although they are getting wiped out pretty dang quick. Even with the insta-kill rifles, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a tall order for the Empire. And now, I mean, the zombie horde is just all over them. Let's face it. Let's quickly go have a look at the front lines now that they've been cleared out a little bit. I mean, just look at this. This is an absolutely insane battlefield, really. I love how you can just see these little waves where you can see defenders were holding for these little amounts of time and corpses built up there slowly. And you can really see where the archers were doing their work as well. But yeah, look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love looking at things like this. I don't know, there's something quite pleasing about just, yeah. I'm on holiday. I'm in my element here. Sadly though, yeah, no little Timmy Lakes. Though, let's have a quick look at this one, just to make sure. Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. That is actually deep enough there. It's got enough consistency to be deep enough. The very end of the match, we did finally get a little Timmy Lake. Okay, that's fair enough here. Here we go then, the last couple of Empire. The last stand, 300 of them here. And this is going to be the final squeal. I didn't know what word to use there. Squeal, yeah. There we go. The final squeal of the Empire. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? The Empire Wizards did something just before the end of the map. They summoned a Comet of Sigmar. So as always, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, peace.